foam. Let's go ahead and make it a darker green here. There we go, that's fine. Let's go ahead and add a new mixer. Shift A input, shader rather, and mix shader. And go ahead and mix these two together and add another color. So let's go ahead and reorganize everything here. There we go. Shift A, shader, diffuse, and connect that there. And now we have a separate white. And at this point we can add a brightness and contrast by pressing Shift A, shader, not shader, color, brightness and contrast. Connect that to the diffuse and simply increase the brightness, and it increases the brightness of your foam. So that's pretty much it as far as foam goes. If you want to make it more detailed, there's a lot more other things that you can end up adding to it, but I don't think I'm really going to go into that unless people request it. So hopefully this covers everything you wanted to know. Like I said, if you want to do the bubble simulation, which I don't know if I've got that on my desktop still. I've got a lot of things scattered everywhere. But this is the type of results you could see from what you've learned thus far. Like I said, you have to basically mess around with the foam settings a little bit more, but I think that's pretty clear how to do just by adjusting. For example, if we go into Blender here, you can adjust the coverage. So if you want more foam, you increase that number. Or you can decrease it by pressing 0. I wonder if you can put in negative. Can you put in a negative? That would be interesting. You can put in a negative. I never tried that. So you can actually put in negative numbers. If you want to use a displacement map for your foam, you actually can drag this and put it to displacement, and it will add a extra level of dimension to your foam. I wonder if it's color, because it doesn't seem to be obvious. Let's see here, because I know I did it a different way, but I'm pretty sure that's going to work. I just can't really tell by this particular render. If it doesn't end up working, just let me know and I'll tell you another way of doing it. But it's just a little bit too long to get into, and I don't want this tutorial to keep dragging on and on and on. If you want to make your foam reflective, you would actually change it from diffuse to glossy. So let's go ahead and do that. Delete diffuse, Shift A, input, no shader, glossy. Drag that in between these two. Put that there. Put that there. And now it is glossy. So it actually has a level of reflection to the light, which isn't obvious, but whenever you compare them side by side, it looks better. So it's just a safe thing to do to actually add that. It also adds to your render time, obviously, but in my opinion, definitely worth it. So there's one more thing that we need to cover before we end this tutorial, which is the animation flow. So let's go to the top left hand corner of the screen where it says compositing, click that button and change it to default. Zoom back out, and let's press play on the timeline and see. That's at the bottom center of the screen. Press play and see how the animation flows. As you can see, it's really slow, then it starts to speed up, and then if we went all the way to the end, you'd realize that it would start to slow down again. So that's not cool. Let's fix that. Let's go to the bottom left hand corner of the screen where you see that little box. Change that to the graph editor, and you'll notice that there's a Bezier curve. We want that to be straight. So let's go to the bottom left hand corner of the screen, press key, press interpolation mode, and change it from Bezier to linear. And as you can see, it's a linear line there. And let's go to the bottom left hand corner of the screen, go back to 3D view, and press play again from the beginning, and you'll realize that it starts out at a normal speed and it continues to do so throughout the whole animation. So yet again, I hope this covers everything that you're curious about. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please put it on my YouTube page. If you want to follow me on Google Plus, there I am. Otherwise, hopefully I'll have some new tutorials coming up next weekend, maybe even this weekend if I have time. I've got some other ideas I need to work on. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.